Is it sacrilegious to drink coffee out of a teacup?
It's not sacrilege. It's confidence. It takes a very confident man to drink coffee out of a teacup. Kevin, since we met you, when was it? A couple years ago now. Right after, it was during the pandemic.
Yep.
You reached out to us through our
website.
Yeah, let's set the story straight. I randomly reached out, and somehow now I'm here.
Yeah,
that's exactly it. I randomly reached out to you guys, and somehow now I'm here.
Yep.
You know, and it's been a crazy ride. Definitely a crazy year, you know, with all the rebookings and everything. 2021 has just been an absolutely nuts year for just about, if you're a wedding vendor, it's been a nuts year. It's been crazy, it's been fun, it's been good.
And I mean, you've been DJing, to set the stage, before you ever DJ'd your first wedding, you've been doing audio-visual stuff for your church.
Yeah, audio-visual.
Right?
Yeah, a long time. So I did sound production, front of house. I was the main guy for audio-visual at the church. I also set up their live stream service using OBS and stuff like that. And finally, I just was broke one day and found myself in a bar, and they needed a karaoke DJ. And basically, if you knew how to use a soundboard, you got a job. So it was fun. It was fun.
How'd you navigate through like the industry, like when you first got in it? Like how'd you like figure out, like equipment-wise, what you want to use and like all that stuff? YouTube or just kind of?
A lot of time with the guys at Guitar Center absolutely hating me because I was the guy that would go in there, hit play on every single piece of equipment they got, thinking that they just sold $5,000 in equipment, and then I was like, we'll see what happens. Maybe I'll be back next week, you know.
Yeah.
But eventually, I finally decided what I want, and it's ever changing. You can never have the best. There's always something better out there, and you just at some point in time you got to find your limit. There's the good, and then eventually it's like, man, stop spending money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can spend so much money in this industry so fast. If I was to give any bit of advice on anything, at the end of the day, you're sitting there, you're killing a party. You're sitting there, you're killing a party. Everybody's dancing, everybody's having fun. Nobody cares what kind of speakers you got. All right. The biggest thing, especially as a wedding DJ, I'd have to say, is you want yourself a great microphone. Because you do not want to screw up that ceremony. You don't want dropouts. You don't want any of this. I'd have to say a microphone's got to be the most important piece of equipment.
And you made an investment and did the research. You got the SLX, which is perfect.
Beat them to it. I beat them to the SLX.
Well, I had the SLX, the older version of it.
Yeah, you had the old SLX, and then
so you got the new one first.
Yeah, I got the new one.
I'll give you that. Yeah, it's tough for me to
Dude.
Yeah.
I love that microphone. I love that microphone.
That is one thing about you that I realized that's like super cool. Your like knowledge with like audio stuff is fantastic.
Yeah, and we've had compliments from the clients who said the same thing. That, read a really nice one recently that was nice to see.
Oh, awesome! Glad to hear it.
So let me ask you this: in the past, because this has been the first really busy wedding season.
Yeah, absolutely nuts, absolutely crazy.
You've done it in the past. You've done it for years. Been doing other kinds of gigs for even longer, but looking back 50 gigs ago or whatever it was, the beginning of this year, what have you learned that's made you a better DJ?
The biggest thing is, that's a tough one because there's so many lessons learned this year. Going from doing a handful of weddings a year to going straight into going hardcore at it.
It doesn't have to be the biggest thing.
Bro, before we get in that, how big of an increase was from like percentage-wise, do you think you went from past few years to this year?
Oh, definitely doubled this year.
Really?
Definitely doubled this year.
Yeah, that's the experience that
a
lot of people have had.
Definitely doubled this year. It really was the make or break year.
Yeah.
I guess the biggest lesson I guess the biggest lesson I must have learned this year is, everybody's so diverse, especially working with you guys. I've been all over the state for you guys. So learning a huge diversity of the cultures and everything, I got to learn so much different types of music and be able to jump back and forth between all sorts of different things I never thought I'd be able to experience. Yeah. It was nuts. But in the actual wedding industry itself, it's okay to take like a hot second before you get on the mic. The biggest. Oh, actually, I do got one. You guys are gonna love this.
Let's hear it.
I almost screwed up one time, and ever since then, I take a Post-it note. All right, I take a Post-it note and I write down the couple's proper name, because you guys must run into this at some point in time,
Not at
right?
all.
Because think about it. You do 4 weddings a weekend. You do 4 weddings a weekend, something like that. And the off chance you ever have a brain fart, you put a Post-it note of their actual proper name right there on the laptop. On the off chance you come close, you completely alleviate any fear whatsoever of ever screwing that up.
Sure. Absolutely. That's a good place to have it. I think I just have my paper, that's right there, and it's got their name in bold and big. I just make it real big letters and bold right on my.
Yeah, I always do too. But the thing is, sometimes you're like sitting there and you get on the mic and you're just like, oh crap, and then you look around for it's right there at my laptop.
It's
right there at my laptop, along with in my crate files right there, because I got like completely different playlists for like, okay, here's your ceremony, here's your prelude, here's your cocktail.
That's a good idea.
That's a good idea.
Because then you don't even have to look down here.
It's right there at the laptop. You instinctively look at your laptop for whatever you're doing.
You know what? I think you just taught me something.
I'm gonna try this weekend.
I'm gonna give it a shot.
Yeah. I'm gonna try this weekend.
Because sometimes you get those really long weddings, those really long days. And
You got cripples sometimes, and you're like, oh, am I doing the couple from Sunday now, or is it Saturday? I understand.
Yeah, that's probably cool.
I may do that tomorrow.
So, like, what else? Like, if you were to say, like, one of the reasons why, let's say they had old Kevin from before the year started, and Kevin now, they could pick. In some weird universe, why should they choose the today instead of the Kevin before? What are you doing? What are some real experiences that guests are having that they might not have had before because of the mastery that you've achieved with what you do?
Maybe the prep before the wedding, like the actual way I reach out to the couples. Now that I got the experience, I've got all these weddings under my belt, right? I'll sit there and I'll reach out to the couple, and I have like all these things I can like certain pointer questions from past experience. I can be like, hey, what's going on? Certain pointing questions that alleviate anything that might happen in the future based on previous experience if I had. Okay.
So you're basically able to, you kind of like we tell them, they don't do this every weekend.
But we do.
But we do. And so because of that, you're able to go into it and you can predict some of the potential. And I think looking back over the years, when I began, that's the biggest thing too. It's just like you said, being able to look and see, okay, what do they mean by this?
Yes.
Yep.
Like you say, I had on my final details call yesterday with one of my couples. She said, "You're not going to play any cheesy music, are you?" And I said, "What's cheesy to you?"
Yeah.
What did she say? Out of curiosity.
And she said all the stuff that was actually typically cheesy, the YMCA, and it turns out that, but some couples will say, "I don't want anything cheesy, but make sure you play the beer barrel polka."
Yep. Which, by the way, all polkas are absolutely fantastic musical choices.
Yeah.
It really is.
If that's what you're into,
cheers to polka music. As a natural-blooded German, I love polka music.
Here, let me freshen you up here, guys.
So, as he pours this cup of coffee, I don't like that we're drinking out of these cups. I'm not a fan of this. I mean, I'll do it because it's here.
I know. I appreciate you, like, being open to it, but I understand you're frustrated. And I get it, because, we do seem...
I'm not opposed to the teacup. So what I'm opposed to is it's been literally 5 minutes and the cup of coffee's already gone.
Well,
Yeah.
So with you now doing more weddings, I guess, right, and having more than doubled with the amount of work you're doing now, since you have so much experience under your belt and just exposure to things and different types of weddings, I guess, what would you say is currently, I guess, your favorite part about DJing weddings? I'm sure a year ago it was probably different.
I'm not allowed to say the food, right?
No, it's delicious.
You're allowed to say whatever you want, yeah.
But,
What have you learned to love? Let's put it that way.
weddings are special, man. I knew that going into it. Mm-hmm. Weddings are special. And it's the biggest day in somebody's life, and they deserve the pomp and circumstance that it really demands. So, I got the same appreciation for it now that I had a year ago. It's the biggest day in somebody's life. As a very well-known DJ always says, every single wedding is the Super Bowl. So go at it with your A game every single time. Go at it with your A game every single time, and just do the best you can do every time. So,
Absolutely.
That's very good.
Mm-hmm.
Very well said.
Mm-hmm. I like that. Something I've noticed this year a lot: line dances have become. I know you're not a big fan.
Can you get me started on line dances?
Line dances have become pretty popular. I've had
Popular?
Yes, I've noticed.
I've definitely had less people saying none and more people saying all of them compared to previous years, for sure.
I've had more people request a cha-cha slide this year than ever. And honestly, I think the cha-cha slide and the YMCA are...
They're making a comeback.
No. But
It goes through cycles like that.
I feel like at the right time, specifically the YMCA, works very well.
When is the right time, would you say?
Well, the YMCA is 128 BPMs. So maybe when you're in that dancey type feel with older and younger people out there. So maybe after some old school hip hop. So Baby Got Back and Push It, then Whoop, there it is. And then, y'all ready for this? Dun, 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 dun. And you could do YMCA after that. Or you can go to Timber right after that. Into some poppy stuff. And the YMCA. Keeping it upbeat and then going into it. I feel like I've done it countless times this year.
Oh yeah. Yeah. What are some of your favorite ways that you've started a night recently that have worked really well? Like different song combos or whatever.
So I always start the night by going in with different songs. The one that you guys already knew about, because I sent you both, I always start with a little bit of the old school Jackson 5, way back.
Which one?
Which song? I Want You Back?
I Want You Back. Yep.
Yep.
And then I know you guys might not agree with this. I burn it a little bit early because it's a very basic song. It gets played at every single wedding. Party in the USA.
Ooh.
Yep. And then I go into All Star, just the first verse, first chorus, and out. And now that this is public knowledge, I got to change it. I got to find a new way to start off my nights. And then I go from there directly into Uptown Funk. And I let Uptown Funk actually play out a little bit. Well, what those first three songs actually allow me to do is it's what I call a toe feeler. I'm putting my toe in the water. I see who's reacting, who's going with the crowd, and what type of vibe I can start with to keep my dance floor right out there.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
So you said...
So I got my old stuff right there.
So you start off with, okay, so imagining, do you do like, do you do like some kind of, is this right after the last special dance?
Yes. So, the way we always do it, we always invite them all out, right? Everybody's enjoying a slow dance, and then from there, hey, ladies and gentlemen, you jump right into it. And then from there...
Because they're already out there, so then...
Yep, you jump right into it. And I never play the actual intro to I Want You Back.
It's super slow.
Yeah. So I actually got cue points. You know that, like, that piano run and...
Yeah.
Hey, hey, hey.
Yeah.
So it's always... Yeah.
So, just go a few more seconds, but with not too many because we'll copyright it in Spanish. But.
My voice ain't that good, guys. It ain't that good. But no, so I always start off right there at the beginning, but then literally 2 bars past that, I got a cue point set up that I can just hit right on cue, and it'll just jump, and it'll cut about 10 seconds of the song off so it goes right into the vocals.
Yeah.
I set up a lot of my music like that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
so that way I can go right in.
To me, that's like, that right there is 101.
Yeah.
Like, if you want to start rocking dance floors in a way that, separates you from just, like, a basic DJ.
Yep.
Who's doing some crossfades and whatever, is have your cue point set. I remember when I first started DJing, it was like, it's crazy to think back how I didn't, my first year doing that, I didn't necessarily do that. I usually just played songs from when they start to finish because I just didn't know. And there were certain songs I just couldn't play because they take a minute and a half to open. Like, that Donna Summer song, Last Dance.
Oh, God.
You cannot play the first 2 minutes of that song. You can only play the last 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Or whatever it is.
One song I always got in there for cocktail hour, too, and I got Serato set up so it actually plays from the first cue point. So when you load up the song, it'll play from the first cue point and not from the beginning.
Virtual DJ, you can do the same thing.
Yeah, so one of my cocktail crates, if I got like a very big 60s, 70s crowd in there, a lot of baby boomers and stuff like that, I actually cut out like basically the first minute 15 seconds of Money for Nothing by Dire Straits. I throw it in there kind of towards the tail end of dinner or the tail end of cocktail when people are just vibing. Because the beginning of that song is so soft, they would literally think for the first minute that it was just completely dead air.
Yeah, I've had it before.
Yeah, there are a couple songs like that.
Yep. So you got to cut it in so it comes right into the,
Yep.
you know. But
Yeah, but I'd say that right there is setting good cue points. That's so, and that's one thing because there's, and also like how it evolves over time when like it. Like I used to think a certain part of the song would be a good time to bring it in, but then I've learned, oh, you know what? If you bring it in here, you can really get them. You know.
Yep. It's nuts.
And sometimes you just set a little context by playing it a few seconds early when it's finishing the last line of its previous verse. You know, that's kind of leading up to the climax. But anyway.
Oh, I sometimes I dive deep into those hot cue points. I'm not very good at using loops, but I am really good at hitting those cue points on cue.
Yes.
So when I'm actually playing a song and I'm mixing in the other one, what I'll actually do is I'll go in there in the bass. I'll turn down the bass a little bit, and I'll turn down the highs while I'm sitting there playing and tapping in the intro on the other song. So by the time it gets done, you hear the vocals over here, which are mostly your mid-range sounds.
Yeah.
And then you hear the bass and the snare hit from like two different songs. A good example for that would be any 50 Cent song mixed with Tipsy by Jaquan. Any sort of hip hop beat, it's very easy to do. You could also do it a lot with like EDM, future house, you know, acid bass, that type of thing.
Okay.
For sure.
But the thing is, with future house, it's usually got a minute intros, so you don't really need to do that.
What would you say your favorite things to play at weddings?
Definitely probably 2000. I'm gonna say 2000 to 2015, pop, R&B, hip hop, and it used to be country, but I basically stick to the basics with country anymore, like Shania Twain. I still throw like Hicktown by Jason Aldean in there, Honky Tonk Badonkadonk, stuff like that.
Man, I Feel Like a Woman. Is that the Shania Twain song?
Yes, yes. You
every
want
wedding,
it? Okay, your dance floor is completely dead. All right, you should never backspin out of a song, except for two different songs. The first one is Man, I Feel Like a Woman. And I usually try to save that one. I mean, unless it's one of those weddings where you can do absolutely no wrong. Yeah. And then it's like, oh, man, I got to play Man, I Feel Like a Woman. Yeah. But if it's one of those songs where you're sitting there and it's like, you're feeling out the crowd. You're feeling out, people start dwindling, and you're like, oh, man. And you look around and you're like, okay, wait for this bar to end.
Let's go, girls.
Yeah, exactly. And then all the girls, it's like the basic music, like, oh my God, let's go.
Young and old alike, they are in it. And And the cool thing, then you can go into Part of the USA if you didn't already play it. You can go into Wanna Be. Yeah. You can go country.
Yeah.
Like that. The thing about that's because it's poppy, it's country. There's like so many different directions you can go.
Usually I play that after Dancing Queen.
Oh yeah, that's another. Yeah.
So after Arbor, Dancing Queen, then we go into.
You have a good, cool way you do that.
Yeah, but obviously that's the BPM range is totally different. You know, so it's a bit different.
You echo out of it, or how do you do it?
Yep,
yeah, echo
exactly.
out.
Yep.
You guys are so fancy with your echoes.
No, seriously. Okay, so literally, DJing has evolved to this over the years. People used to have to take out their Technique 1200s, which were $1,500 a piece back in the 90s, along with probably their Gemini or their Vestex mixer. And they're taking out like $3,000 in gear to put vinyl and literally crates. The reason they're called crates in your actual software, whether it be Virtual DJ, Rekordbox, Tractor, Serato, is because it's mimicking crates. People used to have to take milk crates out, right? So when they're in there, they used to have to actually load all this stuff up. Now, a simple beginner controller does the exact same thing that $5,000 of gear in the 90s did.
Yep.
You know, it's crazy how much the industry has just evolved over the years.
Yeah.
I mean, $250 does the exact same thing with a simple laptop that $5,000 did back in the 90s.
And what does that transfer to the client in benefits?
It depends on who's using it. It really depends on who's using it, you know? Anybody can go up to Guitar Center or go on Amazon or do anything, and they can sit there, they can order themselves a $250 controller, whether it be from Newmark, Pioneer, something like that. But unless you actually got the drive to sit down and learn how to use it properly, it doesn't really account to anything to the clients unless you got that person who's got the drive and the want to use it right. You know what I mean?
So let me rephrase that. What does it benefit for you to have that compared to if you were stuck back in the day? So what does that transfer to the actual experience of what you're creating as a DJ, as a wedding DJ?
Having the bigger controller or the turntables?
All that stuff. You're saying you now have all this in one little thing.
Oh, it means the experience is completely changed, especially in today's wedding age where everybody's expecting mixing and stuff like that. It's going to be the norm within the next 5 to 10 years, and because we've all been to those weddings at some point in time. I know you guys you do weddings every single weekend, so this probably doesn't apply to you. But a couple years ago, I was attending weddings, which is half the reason that I started being a wedding DJ, is because you'd see the guy sitting in a chair, all right, and he'd just have his laptop or his CD player and his black tablecloth. And what's the point of a tablecloth when you got all your cables coming off the front of the tablecloth anyways? But you know what I mean? And sitting there, and he's just going to his speakers, and he's just sitting there, and it's like somebody's charging X amount of dollars to be a wedding DJ when literally you're a human jukebox. Like, oh man, life has got so easy. I'm just gonna sit here in this chair. I'm just gonna do this. All I gotta do.
They got their drink there.
Yep.
Yep. They don't make good announcements.
Yep.
Anything you ask them to do, that almost look like they couldn't be bothered, kind of thing.
Yeah, and I'm not saying every wedding DJ is like that. All right, I know lots of people in the industry, and there are some stellar
But this
DJs.
is what you were seeing.
Yeah, but I'm also more up in the rural area. I'm out by Port Huron.
Gotcha.
So most people up in Port Huron don't get to experience what we offer. There's only one other place I can think of in that area that would do that type of thing. But
there are moments where you're looking out and you're like, man, I got the best job in the world.
Yeah.
oh yeah,
I get that every weekend.
Yeah.
But then there are moments where you're like,
why did I do this? Why am I in this industry?
this is hard.
yeah. There's some crazy ones out there.
But
It's nuts.
well, yeah. Hey, and with that being said, we're now going to bring in our guest star, the one and only Taylor. Welcome.
Welcome, Taylor.
Yeah, come on in, man. Do you want?
You need the DJ air horn right there.
So Taylor, you're how old again?
7.
7 years old. And last time we talked, you said that you
Want to be a DJ?
wanted to be a DJ one day.
Yes, that was correct.
So what? Tell me a little bit about like what is it? What do you see a DJ is? What is a DJ?
I think they help the bride to have a good time and
Yes.
everyone else to have a good time too.
Yeah.
Good answer,
That's a
Taylor.
terrific answer.
Good
yeah.
answer. Wow.
That's a wedding DJ in the making, right
That's
there.
right. So you got a little bit of an experience that one time when me and you DJ'd and did lights for your grandma's party. Remember that?
Yeah,
So how'd you like that?
that was amazing.
So what was your favorite part?
Doing the lights.
Yeah, what'd you like about it?
Just mixing in matching colors and fitting like one for grandma where she really liked. It was really fun.
So you were thinking about it from grandma's point of view.
Yes.
You were thinking about it from the client's perspective.
Yeah.
That's huge.
You are a DJ
wow.
in the making.
Man, would you do me a favor and just grow up so I can hire you so I'm not breaking child labor laws?
Very clear with his mother first.
That's right. That's right. Better talk to mom. So, fast forward, how old do you think you'll be when you're DJing, when you're a professional DJ?
About your age.
My
About-
age?
Yeah.
Maybe a little younger.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Teenager, maybe?
Maybe. I don't
Like
know.
maybe like 18.
You're like 21.
I don't know.
Okay, 21.
21.
So what are you? Let's imagine you got your first wedding coming up on Saturday. This Saturday. Let's just pretend. What are you gonna do to be prepared to do an awesome job?
First, before that day, I will get everything ready in the car and get everything ready.
Okay.
And then, when it's the right time, when I steal that day, I make a plan and what to do.
Make a plan. Wow, that's a smart guy.
And then when it's the day, I go, do the plan, get everything set up, and then start trying to do the best I can.
Oh my goodness, you're gonna be such a good DJ of all kinds of great parties. So many people are gonna be so thankful that you're running the show and making it all happen for them.
Yeah.
Man, thanks for sharing that with us and being our guest star, Taylor.
Yeah.
You're awesome, dude. Well, hey, hit the road and we'll see you next time, okay?
Bye.
Let's say bye to Taylor, everybody.
See you, Taylor.
Yeah, nice job. so out of the mouth of, he's hit all the points.
Yeah, literally, all the points.
He's
Literally
been listening to our sales calls, Taylor.
like word for word. It took me a second, and then I was like, wait, I know what that is.
Taylor, you did a great job.
You did great.
Where'd you get those answers from?
You guys talking for so long?
Yeah.
To be fair, so I got a friend, right? He's a wedding DJ too. The first time he ever did a wedding, he was 15. Wow. He was 15 when he did his first wedding.
You soon, buddy.
He had to have his mom drop him off with his sound equipment that he rented. Yeah.
That's the guy that we had talked about, that now he's like, he just graduated and stuff.
Oh, no, that's not John.
Oh, not John?
No, it's not John.
He started when he was young, too.
Yeah, because he just graduated this year. He's not even 19 yet.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I mean, you can be...
Like, compared to some of these guys, I actually started late compared to some of these guys. Some of these people start when they were like 15, 16,
I think I
something
did too.
like that.
I was like 22 when I got into it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was in my early 20s before I ever started mixing.
But you were doing it with your dad for a while.
Yeah, that's true.
So you
I
did
was
have
with Dad
roots with
when I
him.
was like young, 10,
10. Oh, I didn't realize it was that young.
12, 13, 14, 15.
Oh, wow.
10 to like 20 years.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Well, Kevin, it's been really good to know you and good to meet you. You helped us with the shed, laying that foundation.
That was actually a year ago today.
Can you
A
believe
year ago
it?
today?
Just so you know.
You keep track of that?
I'll show you some pictures on my phone.
You got a reminder, a little,
yeah, a little reminder.
Day in the life, whatever?
It was a year ago today. We were, that orange machine was out there
Yep.
spinning around. And
In the mix with cement. I remember that. You went live on Facebook.
That's
We are
right.
in the mix with cement.
And we had the electric.
I'm sitting out there in my work clothes. I don't always look like this. You know, we're sitting out there in my work clothes. I'm like, come on. And Seth is out there Facebook Live. We're in the mix.
that was one of, that was one of like our first moments. Like, well, was that before hunting or that was before?
That was before hunting.
That was one of our
that's
first
it.
moments hanging out together.
Yeah, I know hunting's a bit of a sore subject with you guys.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Oh no, we had fun.
It was a blast.
It
It was a
good
blast.
time.
I
It was
fe-
meditative, you know.
It was. It's awesome being out there. And 2 days starts up again for
You
me.
excited?
Oh, yes.
Like,
I am so excited. So excited. I'm so ready for it.
And you're gonna get a good one.
absolutely.
I still don't have a freezer, so it doesn't even, it's not even a big deal that I'm not gonna get one. But because the freezer they're on back order months and months.
Yeah, a little bit of everything's on back order,
Yeah.
you know. But
But yeah, we laid that foundation, and since then, all the adventures that you've had, rocking these weddings and all these happy couples, and who are now building their families, and you know, it all started with Party in the USA.
technically, I want you back.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Or whatever usually it was. Okay, if we're going to go like that, let's go back to like cocktail hour where we open up with like Islands in the Stream or Rocket Man or something like that.
Yeah.
You know, we're good.
Rocket Man's cool.
I've been playing that one more. You
Yeah,
know?
I played a lot of cocktail.
Really?
Absolutely.
You know what?
Rocket Man.
And what I'd say by Ray Charles, but actually not the Ray Charles version, the Jamie Foxx version from the movie Ray. What I'd say
Okay.
is killer.
Really?
Yep. And on a flash drive I had laying around from like 10 years ago, I found that song because I actually used to have the CD from that. I love that old like gospel bluesy sound of Ray Charles, right?
Yeah.
So I actually ripped the CD out of my computer, and now if you go on Apple Music, you can't even find it on YouTube. You can't find, I have music that you cannot even find on YouTube or Spotify.
Garth Brooks?
No, that particular version of What I'd Say by Ray Charles.
But
So-
Garth Brooks, I wish you would get on the bandwagon with iTunes, man.
Yeah.
He makes you buy the whole album.
He
You
does.
can't buy a song.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
You know,
Me and Apple aren't on talking terms right
You
now.
know, like Garth Brooks like that. So.
Well, and then I actually bought the album, and then I listened to the song, and I was like, it sounds exactly like the cover.
Yeah.
It's sold on iTunes.
So fun.
I was like, exactly. I was like, what? There's no way you could tell the difference.
Yeah, that's
So that was frustrating.
That's new.
But, you know, hey, everybody's got to make their money somehow.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, on that note, Garth Brooks, we wish you a wonderful day. DJ Kevin, thank you, my friend, for being a rock star.
Absolutely.
And for future reference, if there's anybody out there that I've done your wedding for this past year, from my club days, you may know me as Eddie. But my name is actually Kevin. So, Kevin Bruman, not Eddie
That's
Brew.
right.
But
Yeah.
Eddie, Kevin, whatever you want to call me, but Kevin.
Kevin's
Kevin.
not quite sure what his name is. Or
No, it's Kevin.
He's
My
sure
name,
not.
it says on my driver's license.
sure.
I'm pretty sure my name's Kevin.
He's
You know,
sure not.
yeah, you know,
But for a minute,
Yeah.
you're having a, what do we say? Kind of, you know, one of those where you're like,
A bit conflicted.
bit.
well, I was Eddie Brew for
I
so
do
many
with
years in
identity
the clubs.
crisis.
No.
You know, I was Eddie Brew for so many years in the bars and clubs. You know, it was just
Oh,
natural
I
for
didn't realize that was
Yeah, that's what I used.
okay.
The absolute original was actually DJ Brewmaster.
Oh, I'm so glad you got out of that.
Me too.
Yeah, I actually have sample drops of DJ Brewmaster.
DJ Brewmaster.
DJ, like
No, but it's in that oh, it'd be like the type of thing that you hear on like the actual like promo commercials, right? Like where you're sitting there, it's like DJ Brewmaster. You know, you sit there.
Or your girlfriend's favorite DJ.
your girlfriend's favorite DJ. We hate that guy.
No, we do.
We do.
You don't watch this. You can't do that.
Oh, we don't like you. If you know who you are, if you say that and you're a DJ, you suck.
You know what? I think I'm gonna make a new drop. I'm gonna record myself saying, "Your wife's favorite DJ."
Dude, you might get freaking punched. You know, at a wedding. Say to the group.
You show up in like a business polo, right?
I think right before the first dance.
Dude, you show up in like a business polo to like one of these, and on the back it says your wife's favorite DJ. The venue just starts looking at you like, what?
Yeah.
What are these guys? You know?
The group's name's Joe. You're like, hey, Joe, this song's brought to you by your wife's favorite. You hit this thing. You don't say it, but this song's brought to you by
Your
it's their
wife's
first
favorite
dance.
DJ.
It's their first dance. Everyone's like,
The brand new Mr. and Mrs. Smith, brought to you by your wife's favorite DJ.
this is not going to make it in the cut.
No way.
Blooper reel for Google
Or
Drive.
can it? I think it should.
You know what?
It is
Scratch
candid.
that.
Honestly, this should be our home.
This is candid. You know, this is it is.
It's our new flagship video.
Yeah. Oh man. But,
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Michael's Entertainment website, where we are your wives' favorite DJs.
oh man.
Well, thanks again, Kevin.
Yeah.
On that note,
Appreciate it, brother.
you're
Yeah.
awesome. Hey, and everybody out there, talk to you later.
Bye, guys.
Peace.
Good job,
Okay,
guys.
guys. That was
Yeah.
fun.
Absolutely.
Yeah.